The year was 5024. Humanity had come a long way since their first steps into space. They were now a strong force in the galaxy. Earth was not the only home for humans anymore. They had many colonies on different planets. Zara Chen woke up early that day. She was 25 years old and lived on New Terra, a planet that looked a lot like Earth. Zara had dark hair and bright green eyes. She was smart and brave. Today was a big day for her. Zara got ready quickly. She put on her best suit. It was blue and had the Earth flag on it. She looked in the mirror and took a deep breath. "You can do this," she said to herself. Zara left her apartment and got into a flying car. The car took off, flying between tall buildings. The city was busy, with people and aliens from many worlds. Zara looked out the window, feeling both excited and nervous. The car landed at a big, shiny building. It was the Earth Embassy on New Terra. Zara walked in and went to a large room. Many important people were there. They all turned to look at her. An old man with white hair stood up. He was Admiral Thompson, the head of Earth's space fleet. "Zara Chen," he said in a loud voice, "you have been chosen for a very important job. You will represent Earth at the Galactic Council." Zara's heart beat fast. This was a big honor. The Galactic Council was where all the alien races met to make big decisions. Humans had only been part of it for 100 years. It was not easy for them to get respect from older alien races. "Thank you, Admiral," Zara said. "I will do my best for Earth and all humans." Admiral Thompson gave Zara a special badge. It showed she was Earth's new diplomat. "The council meeting is in 3 days," he said. "You must leave for the council planet right away." Zara nodded. She left the room and went to a big spaceship. The ship was called Hope of Earth. It was fast and could travel between stars quickly. As the ship took off, Zara looked at her home planet getting smaller. She felt proud but also a little scared. She had trained for years for this job, but now it felt very real. The ship jumped to light speed. Stars became lines of light outside the window. Zara sat in her room, reading about the council and all the alien races. There were many strange names and faces to remember. 2 days later, the ship came out of light speed. A big blue planet was in front of them. This was Centauri Prime, home of the Galactic Council. Many spaceships from different worlds were flying around it. Zara's ship landed at a big spaceport. When she stepped out, she saw many aliens. Some had blue skin, others had 4 arms. There were aliens that looked like big insects and some that were made of light. A tall alien with silver skin came to Zara. "Welcome to Centauri Prime," it said in a soft voice. "I am Xylox, the Grand Arbiter of the Council. We are glad Earth sent a new diplomat." Zara bowed her head. "Thank you, Grand Arbiter. I am honored to be here." Xylox smiled, but Zara thought the smile looked strange. "The council meeting is tomorrow," Xylox said. "Be ready. There are big things to discuss." As Xylox walked away, Zara felt uneasy. Something did not feel right. She went to her room in the Earth Embassy on Centauri Prime. That night, she could not sleep well. The next day, Zara went to the council building. It was huge, with a big dome on top. Inside, there was a round room with seats for all the races. Zara sat in Earth's seat, feeling very small. Grand Arbiter Xylox stood up. "This emergency meeting of the Galactic Council will now begin," he said in a loud voice. Zara was surprised. She did not know it was an emergency meeting. What was going on? Xylox looked at all the aliens in the room. Then he said words that made Zara's blood run cold. "The Council has decided. We declare war on humanity." Zara jumped up. "What? Why?" she shouted. But no one listened to her. All around, aliens were nodding and agreeing. Zara knew she had to warn Earth. But how? As she looked around the room, she realized she was alone. Humanity's greatest challenge had just begun. Zara's heart was beating fast. She could not believe what she had just heard. The Galactic Council had declared war on humanity. She looked around the big room. All the alien faces seemed angry or scared. Grand Arbiter Xylox spoke again. His silver skin shone in the bright lights. "Humans are a danger to galactic harmony," he said. "They grow too fast. They take too much. We must stop them." Zara stood up. Her hands were shaking, but her voice was strong. "This is wrong," she said. "Humans have been peaceful. We have followed all the rules. Why are you doing this?" An alien with 4 arms and blue skin stood up. It was Ambassador Krell from the Zorgan Empire. "Humans are too unpredictable," Krell said. "In just 3,000 years, they have spread across many star systems. They make new technologies too fast. We cannot trust them." Other aliens nodded. They all seemed to agree with Krell. Zara felt very alone. Xylox looked at Zara. His eyes were cold. "The decision is made," he said. "This meeting is over. The war begins now." Zara ran out of the room. She had to warn Earth. But when she got to her ship, she found alien guards there. "You cannot leave," one guard said. "No human ships can go out now." Zora's mind raced. She needed a plan. She remembered her friend, Glix, a small green alien who worked at the spaceport. Glix had always been kind to her. Zora snuck out of the Earth Embassy. She put on a big cloak to hide herself. The streets of the alien city were busy. Everyone was talking about the war. Zora kept her head down and walked fast. At the spaceport, Zora found Glix. "I need your help," she said. "I must send a message to Earth." Glix looked scared, but he nodded. "Come with me," he said. He took Zora to a small room full of computers. Zora typed fast. She sent a message to Earth. "Warning. Galactic Council has declared war. Prepare for attack. This is not a drill. Diplomat Zara Chen." Just as she finished, the door opened. Alien guards came in. "Stop her," they shouted. Glix pushed a button. "Message sent," he said. Then the guards grabbed them both. Meanwhile, on Earth, things were calm. People did not know about the war yet. In a big military base, Admiral Jane Wong was having a normal day. She was tall and strong, with short black hair and a serious face. Suddenly, all the computers started beeping. Red lights flashed. "Emergency message from Centauri Prime," a young officer said. Admiral Wong read the message. Her face became very serious. "Sound the alarm," she said. "We are at war." The base became very busy. Soldiers ran around. Ships started to take off. Admiral Wong went to a big room with many screens. She could see all of Earth's defenses from there. "Send ships to protect our outer colonies," she ordered. "Call back all our diplomats. We need to prepare for a big fight." An old general came to her. "Admiral," he said, "why would the Council attack us? We have been peaceful." Admiral Wong shook her head. "I don't know," she said, "but we must be ready. Humanity will not go down without a fight." In space, alien ships were already moving. They were coming from all directions. Earth's colonies on far planets sent worried messages. They could see enemy ships coming. Back on Centauri Prime, Zara was in a small room. The aliens had locked her up. She sat on the floor, feeling very worried. But then she heard a small noise. It was Glix. He had escaped and come to help her. "We must go," Glix said. "I have a small ship. We can try to reach Earth." Zara nodded. They snuck out of the building. The night was dark. They ran to the spaceport. Glix's ship was small and old, but it worked. As they took off, big ships tried to stop them. Glix flew fast and low. They escaped into space, but the journey to Earth was long and dangerous. Zara looked out at the stars. She thought about Earth and all the human colonies. The war had started. She did not know if they would win, but she knew humans would not give up easily. "We're coming, Earth," she said quietly, "and we'll fight with everything we have." The sky over New Mars, one of Earth's biggest colonies, was full of stars. But today, some of those stars were moving. They were getting bigger and brighter. They were not stars at all. They were alien ships. Alarms started to sound all over the city. People ran to safety bunkers. Soldiers got ready for a fight. In the control tower, Captain Lisa Chen looked at her screens. Her face was worried. "This is it," she said to her team. "The first attack. Get our ships in the air." Human ships took off from the ground. They were smaller than the alien ships, but they were fast. The sky filled with lights as the two sides started to fight. On Earth, Admiral Jane Wong was in her command center. She watched the battle on big screens. "Send help to New Mars," she ordered, "and get ready for more attacks. They won't stop with one colony." Just then, another alarm went off. An officer shouted, "Admiral, they're attacking Europa base on Jupiter's moon." Admiral Wong's face got harder. "They're trying to split our forces," she said. "Clever, but we can be clever too." She turned to her team. "New plan. We let them think they're winning. Then we surprise them." In space near Jupiter, the battle was fierce. Human ships fought bravely, but there were too many alien ships. Slowly, the humans started to fall back. The alien commander, a tall bug-like creature named Kraz, laughed. "Look how they run," he said to his officers. "Humans are weak. This war will be over soon." But Kraz was wrong. As the human ships fell back, they led the alien fleet into a trap. Suddenly, from behind Jupiter's moons, a new group of human ships appeared. They had been hiding, waiting for this moment. The human ships had a new weapon. It was a special beam that could shut down alien ship engines. Soon, many alien ships were just floating in space, unable to move or fight. Kraz couldn't believe it. "How?" he shouted. "How did they do this?" Back on Earth, Admiral Wong allowed herself a small smile. "Good job," she said to her team. "Now, let's help New Mars." Meanwhile, Zara and her alien friend Glix were still trying to reach Earth in their small ship. They had to fly carefully to avoid alien patrols. Zara spent her time trying to contact Earth, but it was hard. The aliens were blocking messages. "We have to warn them about Psylocke's plan," Zara said to Glix. "The Council has been planning this war for years. They're more prepared than we thought." Glix nodded. His green skin looked pale. He was scared, but he was brave to help Zara. "We'll make it," he said. "Humans are strong." "I've seen it." Back on New Mars, the battle was turning. With help from Earth, the human forces were pushing back the aliens. Captain Lisa Chen led a brave attack that broke through the alien lines. "Look at that," one of Lisa's pilots shouted. "They're running away." It was true. The alien ships were leaving New Mars. The humans had won this fight. People came out of their bunkers, cheering and hugging each other. But the war was far from over. On many other colonies, battles were still going on. Some humans were winning, some were losing. It was a hard fight everywhere. Admiral Wong knew they needed a big plan to win the war. She called a meeting with her top officers. "We've done well so far," she said. "But the aliens have more ships, more weapons. We need to think differently to win." One young officer spoke up. "Admiral, what about Dr. Reyes? I heard he's working on a new AI system. Could that help us?" Admiral Wong thought for a moment. "Good idea," she said. "Get Dr. Reyes here now. We need every advantage we can get." As the meeting went on, Admiral Wong looked out the window at the stars. Somewhere out there, the aliens were planning their next move. And somewhere, Zara was trying to get home with important information. "Hurry, Zara," Admiral Wong said quietly. "We need you. The whole human race needs you." The war had only just begun. Humans had won some fights, but there were many more to come. The future of humanity would depend on their bravery, their cleverness, and their ability to work together against a powerful enemy. Dr. Alejandro Reyes walked quickly through the busy halls of Earth's main science lab. He was young, with messy hair and bright eyes. In his hand, he held a small device that could change the war. "Admiral Wong is waiting," a soldier said, leading him to a big room. Inside, Admiral Wong and her team looked up. "Dr. Reyes," she said, "we need your help. What have you got for us?" Alejandro put his device on the table. It was small, about the size of a hand. "This," he said, "is our new AI battle system. I call it Athena." He turned it on. A hologram appeared, showing a map of the galaxy. "Athena can predict enemy movements," Alejandro explained. "It learns from every battle and gets smarter." Admiral Wong looked impressed. "How accurate is it?" "In tests, it's been right 95% of the time," Alejandro said, "and it's getting better every day." Just then, Athena's light turned red. A warning sound filled the room. "Alert," a calm voice said. "Enemy fleet approaching Saturn's rings. Predicted time of arrival: 2 hours." Everyone looked at Admiral Wong. She nodded. "Let's see what this AI can do. Prepare our forces." Meanwhile, in a different part of space, Zara and Glix were still trying to reach Earth. Their small ship was running low on fuel. "Look," Glix said, pointing at their screen. "A human patrol ship." Zara quickly sent a message. At first, the patrol ship was suspicious, but when they saw Zara's diplomat badge, they let her and Glix board. "We need to get to Earth fast," Zara told the captain. "I have important information about the enemy's plans." Back at Saturn, the battle was about to begin. Human ships waited behind the planet's beautiful rings. They were using the ice and rocks to hide. The alien fleet arrived, led by a huge ship. It was piloted by Kraz, the bug-like commander who had lost at Jupiter. "This time," Kraz said, "we will crush the humans." But as the alien ships moved closer, something strange happened. The rings of Saturn started to move. Huge chunks of ice and rock flew towards the alien ships. "What's happening?" Kraz shouted. On the lead human ship, Captain Maria Diaz smiled. "It worked," she said. "The gravity manipulators are working perfectly." Alejandro had created special devices that could control gravity. The humans were using them to turn Saturn's rings into a weapon. Alien ships tried to dodge, but many were hit. Their shields flickered and failed. In the chaos, human ships attacked from all sides. Kraz couldn't believe it. "How?" he yelled. "How are they always one step ahead?" In her command center, Admiral Wong watched the battle. Athena, the AI, was predicting every move the aliens made. "Send in the second wave," Wong ordered. A new group of human ships appeared. They had strange, round devices on their fronts. These were sonic disruptors, another new human invention. When turned on, they sent out waves that confused alien sensors. The alien fleet was in trouble. They couldn't see properly, couldn't predict where attacks were coming from. Kraz had no choice. "Retreat," he ordered. "Fall back." As the aliens fled, cheers filled the human ships. It was another victory. On Earth, people celebrated. News of the win at Saturn made everyone hopeful. In labs and factories, humans worked hard to make more new weapons and devices. Zara finally reached Earth. She went straight to Admiral Wong. "The Galactic Council," she said, breathing hard. "They've been planning this war for centuries. They're scared of how fast humans are growing." Admiral Wong nodded. "That explains a lot," she said. "But why now? Why attack after 3,000 years? Zara shook her head. "I don't know yet, but there's more going on than we realize." Just then, Athena gave another alert. "Multiple enemy fleets detected. They are gathering for a massive attack." Admiral Wong stood up. "This is it," she said. "The big one. Get everyone ready." "And Dr. Reyes?" Alejandro looked up. "Yes, Admiral. We need more surprises for our alien friends." Can you do it? Alejandro smiled. Oh yes, he said. Humans are good at surprises. Just wait and see. As everyone rushed to prepare, Zara looked out at the stars. The biggest battle was coming. But for the first time, she felt real hope. Humans were clever, brave, and determined. Maybe, just maybe, they could win this war. The sky over Earth was full of lights. But these weren't stars. They were ships, thousands of them. The biggest alien fleet anyone had ever seen was coming. In the command center, Admiral Wong stood tall. Around her, screens showed the enemy getting closer. This is it, she said. The battle that decides everything. Dr. Rice was there too, working on his eye, Athena. Admiral, he said, Athena has a plan. It's risky, but it might work. Admiral Wong nodded. Let's hear it. Athena's calm voice filled the room. The alien fleet is too big to fight directly. But their ships are connected by a central control system. If we can shut it down, we can stop them all at once. How do we do that? Asked Admiral Wong. We need to get a small team onto their main ship, Athena said. Once there, they can upload a virus I've created. Everyone looked at each other. It seemed impossible. Who would go on such a dangerous mission? Someone asked. Just then, the door opened. Zara walked in, followed by her alien friend Glix. We'll go, Zara said. I know their ships. Glix can help us blend in. Admiral Wong thought for a moment. Then she nodded. Okay, but you'll need help. She turned to a tough-looking soldier. Captain Lee, you and your best team will go with them. As they got ready, Dr. Rice gave Zara a small device. This has the virus, he said. Good luck. Outside, the battle began. Human ships flew out to meet the aliens. Lights flashed as weapons fired. It looked like fireworks, but deadly ones. In all the chaos, a small human ship flew towards the biggest alien ship. Inside were Zara, Glix, Captain Lee, and his team. Remember, Zara said, once we're in, we have to move fast. They landed in a small hangar that Glix knew about. As they got out, they heard alien voices coming closer. Hide, whispered Captain Lee. They all ducked behind some big boxes. A group of aliens walked by, talking in their strange language. Glix listened carefully. They're worried, he said. The battle isn't going as they planned. Once the aliens were gone, the team moved quickly through the ship. Zara led the way, remembering the maps she had studied. Suddenly, an alarm went off. They know we're here, shouted Captain Lee. Run, Zara yelled. They ran down long hallways, alien soldiers chasing them. Captain Lee and his team fired back, giving Zara and Glix cover. Finally, they'd reached the main control room, but it was locked. Stand back, said one of Lee's soldiers. She put a small device on the door. There was a flash, and the door opened. Inside, alien commanders turned in surprise. Before they could react, Lee's team rushed in, weapons ready. Now, Zara, shouted Captain Lee. Zara ran to the main computer. She plugged in the device Dr. Rice had given her. Uploading virus, she said. On the big screen, numbers and alien writing flashed by fast. Then everything went dark. Back on Earth, Admiral Wong watched as all the alien ships suddenly stopped moving. It worked. Someone shouted. Cheers filled the command center. But Admiral Wong stayed focused. Don't celebrate yet, she said. Capture those ships and get our team out of there. In space, human ships moved in. They started taking control of the powerless alien ships. It was an amazing sight. The huge alien fleet, now helpless. On the main alien ship, Zara and her team were trying to get out. But they were trapped, alien soldiers closing in from all sides. Just when it seemed hopeless, they heard a loud noise. A human ship had blasted a hole in the side of the alien ship. This way, shouted the pilot. They all ran and jumped into the rescue ship. As they flew away, Zara looked back at the alien fleet. She couldn't believe they had done it. Hours later, back on Earth, there was a big meeting. Admiral Wong stood up to speak. "Today we won a great victory," she said. "But the war isn't over. We've shown the galaxy what humans can do. Now we need to decide what to do next." Zara stepped forward. "I have an idea," she said. "It's time we talk to the Galactic Council again. But this time, we'll be the ones in charge." As everyone discussed the plan, Zara looked out the window at the stars. For the first time since the war started, she felt real hope. Humans had proven they weren't just survivors. They were winners. The galaxy would never be the same again. The human ship Unity flew through space, its engines glowing blue. Inside, Zara Chen looked out the window at the stars. She was going back to Centauri Prime, but this time as a victor, not a prisoner. Admiral Wong stood next to her. "Are you ready?" she asked. Zara nodded. "Yes, but I'm nervous. Something still doesn't feel right about all this." The ship landed at the spaceport. Aliens of all kinds watched as Zara, Admiral Wong, and their team walked out. Some looked scared, others angry. At the council building, Grand Arbiter Xylox was waiting. His silver skin seemed less shiny now. "Welcome," he said, but his voice was cold. "The council is ready to hear you." They walked into the big round room. All the alien leaders were there. Zara saw fear in many of their eyes. Admiral Wong spoke first. "We did not want this war," she said, "but we have shown that humans are strong. Now, we want peace, but we also want answers." Xylox looked uncomfortable. "What do you mean?" he asked. Zara stepped forward. "I think you know," she said. "This war, it wasn't just about fear of humans growing too fast. There's more to it. Tell us the truth." The room was quiet. Then, an old alien with long tentacles for arms stood up. "She is right," he said in a tired voice. "We should tell them." Xylox looked angry, but he nodded. "Very well," he said. "The truth is, we've been lying to you, to everyone, for 3,000 years." Gasps filled the room. Even some alien leaders looked shocked. "What do you mean?" asked Admiral Wong. Xylox sighed. 3,000 years ago, when humans first joined the galactic community, we saw how special you were. Your creativity, your drive. It scared us. So we made a plan." "A plan?" Zara asked. "Yes," Xylox continued. "We decided to keep humans isolated. We gave you old technology, told you the galaxy was mostly empty, all to keep you from reaching your full potential." Admiral Wong's face got red with anger. "You lied to us for 3,000 years, kept us from advancing." Xylox nodded. "But you still grew faster than we expected. That's why we finally decided to attack, to stop you before you discovered the truth." Zara couldn't believe it. "So, what's really out there? In the galaxy?" The old alien with tentacles spoke again. "Wonders you can't imagine," he said. "Civilizations millions of years old. Technologies that seem like magic. And you kept this from us?" Zara asked, her voice shaking. "We were wrong," the old alien said. "We see that now." Just then, Dr. Reyes, who had been quiet, stepped forward. "That's how you knew so much about us," he said. "You've been watching us all this time." Xylox nodded. "Yes, we studied you, learned your weaknesses, or so we thought." Admiral Wong was still angry. "You'll pay for this," she said. "Humanity won't forget this betrayal." But Zara had a different idea. "Wait," she said. "I have a better plan." Everyone looked at her. "Instead of punishment," Zara continued, "how about a new start? You show us everything you've been hiding. And in return, we share our creativity, our ideas." There was silence for a moment. Then the old alien spoke. "Yes," he said. "That is a wise choice. We have much to learn from each other." Slowly, other aliens started to agree. Even Xylox nodded. "Perhaps," he said, "this is the best way forward." Admiral Wong looked at Zara with pride. "Well done," she said quietly. As the council meeting continued, plans were made for a new era of cooperation. Humans would finally see the true wonders of the galaxy, and the aliens would benefit from human innovation. Later, on the ship ride home, Zara looked out at the stars again. But now she saw them differently. Each one might hold amazing secrets, new friends to meet. "We did it," Admiral Wong said, standing next to her. "We not only won the war, we changed the whole galaxy." Zara smiled. "Yes," she said, "and our real adventure is just beginning." As Earth came into view, Zara felt excited. She couldn't wait to tell everyone the truth. Humanity's place in the universe was bigger than anyone had ever dreamed. And now, they were ready to claim it. 1 year had passed since the big revelation. Earth was buzzing with excitement. People were getting ready for a special day. Today, the first human ship would leave to explore the true wonders of the galaxy. At the spaceport, a crowd had gathered. They were there to see off the crew of the starship Discovery. The ship was beautiful, shiny, and new. It had technology from Earth and from alien friends. Zara Chen stood near the ship. She was now Earth's ambassador to the new Galactic Council. Next to her was Admiral Wong, looking proud. "Are you ready for this?" Admiral Wong asked. Zara nodded. "I've been ready for this my whole life," she said with a smile. Dr. Reyes came running up, carrying a small box. "Wait," he shouted. "I have something for you, Zara." He opened the box. Inside was a small glowing device. "This is the new Athena Eye," he explained. "She's excited to explore the galaxy with you." Zara took the device carefully. "Thank you, Alejandro. This will be a big help." Just then, Glix appeared. The small green alien looked happy. "I'm so glad I get to go on this trip with you, Zara," he said. "Me too, Glix," Zara replied. "We've come a long way since we escaped Centauri Prime together." The ship's captain, a tall woman named Maria Vasquez, called out, "It's time to board." As Zara and Glix walked up the ramp, people cheered. Cameras flashed. This was a historic moment. Inside the ship, Zara found her room. She put Athena on a small table and looked out the window. She could see Earth, beautiful and blue. "Ready for launch," came Captain Vasquez's voice over the speakers. Zara felt the ship rumble. Then, smoothly, it lifted off. Earth got smaller and smaller. In space, Zara gasped. There were so many ships. Vessels from 100 alien worlds had come to see them off. It was like a huge parade in space. "Look at that," Glix said, pointing. A giant ship shaped like a whale swam by. Living creatures that looked like floating jellyfish danced around it. As they passed Mars, Zara saw something amazing. A gate was opening in space. It was a jump gate, new technology shared by their alien allies. "Preparing for jump," said Captain Vasquez. "Hold on, everyone." There was a flash of light. Zara felt a strange pulling sensation. Then suddenly they were in a new star system. "Welcome to the Andromeda Galaxy," Athena's calm voice said. Zara couldn't believe her eyes. There were 3 suns, all different colors. Planets of shapes and sizes she had never imagined floated nearby. In the distance, she saw a huge space station. It looked like a city floating in space. Over the next few weeks, Zara and the crew visited amazing places. They saw planets where the mountains floated in the sky. They met aliens who could change shape or read minds. They learned about histories millions of years old. But the best part was sharing human culture with their new friends. Aliens love human music and art. They were amazed by human stories and ideas. One day, Zara stood on the bridge of the Discovery. They were about to jump to a new galaxy. Captain Vasquez turned to her. "Where to next, Ambassador?" she asked. Zara looked at the star map. There were so many places to explore. "Surprise me," she said with a smile. As they prepared to jump, Zara thought about how much had changed. A year ago, Humans thought they were alone in a mostly empty galaxy. Now they were part of a huge, amazing community. There had been hard times. The war, the lies, the fear. But humans had proven themselves. They had shown their strength, their cleverness, and their kindness. Now, a new adventure was just beginning. Humanity was ready to take its place among the stars. And Zara knew that whatever challenges they faced, humans would face them with courage and hope. As the ship jumped, heading to new wonders, Zara felt happy. The future was bright, full of endless possibilities, and humanity was ready for it all.